Hi, welcome to Gem Squared. I am your host, Bree.
And I'm your host, Winnie.
And we are
Jazz to Jams. All right. So we kind of talked about it last time. And so instead of a question, I want to just talk about our Vegas trip a little bit.
Okay.
And so I guess my question will be, what was your favorite part about our birthday trip?
Okay, our favorite part about our birthday trip. It probably was Chris Angel, who I kept calling Chris Evans. He was really the highlight because he was the thing I was least excited to see.
Yes, so true.
And then he just blew me out of the water. Like, I want to go see him again. Like, I feel like I would go see him again. And, like, just how it was set up, the tribute to his son and children with cancer.
And
his dad. And knowing that 100% of the proceeds go to the families. Like, I don't know. He just seems like a well-rounded white man, and I just loved his jokes. You can tell he loved brown women. It was just hit after
black
hit.
and brown women.
So for me, that was like the highlight of the show. A close of our time. A close second was that just random all-you-can-eat crab place we went into.
Your close second is my first because it wasn't just crab, y'all. It was seafood. They had a nice little menu we could order from. And we got just the right amount because they will charge you if you have leftovers.
Exactly.
But, wow, definitely will be going back for that.
Oh, yeah.
And like you, I think the one that I was just kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm going, was the Cirque du Soleil.
Oh.
And then, bro, I'm in it now. I'm a magnet collector. I
am.
I'm ready to see more. With the first show after we watched it, we had to go and buy tickets to see another one.
Oh my God, it was so good.
So good. And we know the next two shows we're going to see when we go back to Vegas.
Exactly.
Because we are ready.
Yes, and then there's a Bazaar one in Minneapolis.
Yes, that we need to go see.
I hope they wow us like the ones in Vegas.
Yeah.
I don't know if people from America Got Talent is chilling here in Minneapolis.
Maybe they're like on Troops. Okay, we heard that a lot of the people that are in Vegas are from America's Got Talent, especially the ones that do the Cirque du Soleil shows.
Yeah.
So, glad that they're getting their coin. And I just had to say, like, the coordination, the strength of the performance.
I feel like there were two women that we saw. I'm assuming they're women.
Mm-hmm.
Two women that we saw who had I felt like they had muscles in their toes.
Oh my!
It was insane. Was unmatched.
It was just crazy, like the way that they could lift each other. The sets, whoever the set designer and managers are, the people who keep that place clean and operating. The transitions were so smooth, so beautiful.
Wow.
And like I just think it was so cool. Anytime like a performer like might have missed something, it only happened like twice, I think. But every time like they just get back up
and start again.
Yeah, and like all the safety precautions are there.
So many safety precautions.
And just like again, the first show we see in the Mystere, just the way that the things that came up out the ceiling, people are swinging down, we didn't even see them. Like
they looked like they were having fun. Like it was a fun job.
Gosh.
Oh my God.
A
good time. And so many like it felt like it was a good even mixture of ethnicities and
representation.
Representation. I mean, except the second one, it was White City, but Mystere for sure.
Yeah. The second one we seen was in water.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know what to expect, and it was really cool. But I think that they're at a small disadvantage because like there's like a lot of their strength we couldn't see because it was just underwater.
Right.
And if you don't really know about swimming and like how much strength some of them like just to be like up straight like that would take. It didn't look like as impressive as some of the other stuff that we'd seen.
Agreed.
But still amazing, for sure.
A very good show.
Very good show.
Yeah.
You know what wasn't a good show? We spent good money.
Good money.
To see T-Pain.
To see T-Pizzle.
And, you know, part of it is I think we're too old to be doing nightclub concerts.
Too old.
However, on the ticket, it started at 11. The doors open at 10. Thank God we were running a little late. As we do. Because we got there a little before 11. Their line stuff was a mess. And, like, we were up front waiting. Also,
Also.
The drinks. A regular, what, 12, 14-ounce cup?
$60.
$30 a piece.
Ooh.
Water, $15.
$15.
There's nowhere you can sit down that isn't a cabana or like the chairs, and those started at $1,500. You could be in the pool, but it was getting packed.
It was packed.
It was awful. That's all I gotta say. We waited, and I get it. Like, they want us to be there. They want us to, like, be buying their drinks. But the DJ, like, literally started replaying songs. He kept getting us hype, and then only for T-Pain not to come out.
Yeah.
We waited for 4.5 hours. Yeah, because we got there at 11, and we left around 4.
Yeah.
So for, like, 5 hours.
Yeah.
And then as we were leaving, the staff had the nerve to, like, catch an attitude with us. And they're like, well, you guys got to be in here. And we're like, but we didn't get to see T-Pain. He's like, well, he's coming out at 5. We weren't waiting another hour, bro.
Yeah. Some of us may have almost died.
Some of us. Which is really funny because some of us thought I was the one who was going to go down. But my girl almost fainted.
It almost took me out, man.
Shout out to that young man.
That young brown man, black man.
Young black man.
Who definitely helped me when I felt like I was about to faint. So,
Yeah.
And he checked up on me a couple times.
He did.
So I'm very appreciative of that. But
Yeah.
on my birthday, about to faint, waiting for T-Pain. Was definitely not the highlight of my day. But then we got seafood after, so I guess it made up for it. Did we get seafood that day?
No, that's when we went to the Chinese Mexican fusion restaurant. Oh, fantastic. That place was so good we went back.
Oh my God. That was bomb diggity bomb.
Bomb.com for sure.
That was good. That was tasty.
Their churros
left
a little to be desired.
Yeah.
But the meal, chef's kiss for sure.
It was hit after hit.
The food in Vegas was good.
Yeah.
We had some really good food times. It was hot. Oh, that's the other thing, T-Pain. Okay, it was also 85 to 90 degrees the whole time we were outside. No shade.
No shade.
The only places that had any sort of little bit of fan or misting was the places that you paid to sit down at, which we could not afford, bro. I'm not dropping $1,500.
No.
To sit there.
No,
and then
not.
around like 3:30, I think T-Pain came out and he was like, "You guys, I'm sorry. I was drinking earlier, and you guys understand the heat." And then he's like, "They told me I gotta come out. I'll be back." And that we couldn't wait no more.
We waited like 35 minutes
after that.
He said that, and nothing. Yeah. So now every time I hear him on the radio, I gotta change his song.
And then his music followed us everywhere for the days following we were left there.
We were being haunted.
Oh my gosh, by the ghost of T-Pain.
No, not at all.
The ghost of the good time we could have had at his concert.
The good time we could have had.
And then we got free tickets from a club promoter with some free drinks to go see Lil Jon at a nightclub. Okay. And we waited for an hour and we just couldn't do it again. We weren't getting trapped.
Yeah.
So long story short, we're not cut out for those type of concerts.
No.
We need to have, some standing, some sitting. Like that's where we're at right now.
Yeah. That was rough.
that was
rough.
Something else for sure.
I was trying to pull through, y'all. I was like,
and I falling asleep,
and then I'm like looking around and I'm just seeing these people, these skinny people just taking up all the seats, all the little edges where you could see. And there was like one couple making out and they had room, but it would have been so awkward if I just said, "Oh, sorry,
can I just sit right next to you?"
Like, it would have been awkward. So I was just like, oh my God. And then I was like, I'm thirsty. And then I was like, I'm hungry. And then we went to a place that had great nuts. Was this today?
Oh, we went to CVS, bro.
Yes, we went
and
to
their
CVS. Oh my God.
Nut cluster and oat bites.
Oh my god.
Salted caramel.
Salted
CVS brand. Oh, and the blueberry pomegranate ones.
Ooh.
We got lost in a casino, y'all.
Got lost.
The shit was terrifying. It was really funny because I was walking around. I was like, it's kind of funny. Like they should do like a movie or something on like, you know, being like getting super anxious because you can't get out of a casino.
Exactly.
And then we literally were not getting out that bitch.
No, I think we went in circles like 6 times.
Oh my god.
And I was like, well, I'll just eat my nuts.
Thank God we had to stop and get provisions to continue the journey, bro.
Provisions.
There was a CVS in that casino. And there was a trading post.
And we don't think... You know what you did.
You know what you did. But yeah, the entertainment there, A+. I don't think... Also, on the way there, I did watch a documentary on the Donut King, who unfortunately lost all of his money, or like the majority of his fortune, gambling in Vegas. So that really put us off gambling. Well, Bree wasn't going to gamble.
I wasn't gambling.
I did decide before I left I was going to put $20 in. I lost that $20 real quick.
Wow.
Real quick. We were there for
$200
$20.
Oh.
Please.
Yo.
$200?
Resurrect me from the dead.
It couldn't be me.
I thought I just passed.
No, I'm not losing that.
I was like, where was I when this happened?
Like, so you sneaking out?
That's what I thought. I was like, well, I moved, you move. Except when I fell asleep for 14 hours, but, you know.
Like a light.
Like a light.
That was a good time, though.
Oh, my God.
But yeah, I lost my little 20 and we were done with the gambling scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, all in all, good time.
Yeah.
We did miss our massages, but
yeah,
you win some, you lose some.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, the entertainment, it was great. So, speaking of entertainment, we gotta wrap it back around and pick up our series of Eureka and Lost Girl.
We really do.
Because down to the last minute, we finally finished season 2 of our show.
We finally did. Down to the last minute. Some of us woke up at 4 a.m. on accident.
Some of us fell asleep midday. Could have been done earlier, but then wasn't. And then forgot her phone. Couldn't watch it at the gym. It was a whole issue.
It was a whole thing.
But we're here now.
We are here now to talk about Lost Girl.
Lay it on me. Catch me up.
So you want me to talk about Lost Girl?
Yeah, you go first. Go first.
So, season 2, it's just really fast-paced in season 1.
And more episodes.
And more episodes. Because I'll have to fact-check it, but I think season 1 had a significantly less amount of episodes than season 2, which had 22 episodes. So, you know, you continue to learn a little bit about, learn more about Bo and Dyson, but they're really not their relationship is not the highlight in this series. It's
because his love is gone.
Because his love is gone.
Okay.
However, in this series, his old beau, which not really his beau, so Dyson, like I said in the episode before, is a fae and he is a werewolf. And centuries ago, Dyson was a part of this pack of other wolves who had a sworn oath to take care of this king.
Okay.
Now, the king wife was somebody that Dyson was admiring from afar, and other people noticed, specifically one person noticed that he was having feelings for the king's wife. It was kind of like this unrequited love in a way. Okay. So then in this season, things happened and he was told that she died. The king was like, he died, and then she was supposedly said, I can't live without the king. Mm-hmm. So then she died or whatever. But she didn't die, plot twist. Oh. And she just showed up. Well, she didn't just show up, but I didn't want to get into too much details. But she just shows up. And then Dyson's like, oh my God, Kiora. And then they're just like hugging and all of that. Then they start a relationship. But Dyson, funky trifling ass, still didn't tell this girl, Kiora, that Bo was the one. You a wolf, you mate for life. You can't love Kiora. Like, it's not possible. So he up here like trying to, be with this woman and all this stuff. And I'm just like, dude, you just lying to her for half of the season.
So
right?
even though his love is gone, he can't love
another human being. Because wolves mate for life.
Wow. So do loons.
Yep. So it's like...
Minnesota State bird.
You heard it. But yeah, so you're just like, oh, this dude. And then one of my favorite episodes was probably... It was before the 15th episode, I will say. But and I know that's like really general.
It's
but
okay.
Before the 15th episode. But there was an episode where Trick, where Trick had to take Dyson and Hale. And Hale is the siren. He is the partner and best friend of Dyson. Take them to see this Fae person who has the ability to give you something that can help them in battle.
Okay.
And come to find out, Trick had a little fling with this person, and they're very cunning and very demanding in how they are. So you have to like give them a couple truths freely, or they have the ability to force the truth out of you just by the flick of a finger. So they're all leaving after Trick got what he needed from the lady. And as Dyson walking out the door, the lady said, do you have a girlfriend? Or he says yes. And then he was like, do you love her? And no, the lady said, do you love her? And he ignored her. And he tried to walk out the door. And then she went, and he goes, I can't love Kiara. Then turned around and looked at her like, then had that realization like, I can't love her. And I was like, dude, that would have been a great time to go home and say, hey, boo. And Kiara is like, she got shmoney. You know what I'm saying? Kiara got money, big money. So she out here looking for a house and stuff to buy for her and Dyson. And then they're packing and getting ready and all of that. He playing house with Yo Kiki, all of this. And still haven't told this woman that
I can't even love you.
I can't even love you, boo. And then just to stay on Kiara's story throughout the whole show, and we can move on, but like then Kiara she finds out that he told everybody but her that he can't love her. So then he's like, but I wear this alone. It's like, what do you...
After you told everybody but me?
You told everybody. So then, after that, they have to go fight the Garuda, which is a species that used to eat the Fae. This is like scary, right? Okay. So Garuda came because Trick back in the day did someone's blood and tried to end a war between the light and dark Fae. But every time you bleed himself, he gets foretold consequences. Oh. But he's the Blood King, which is like the most powerful type of Fae.
Oh,
I think that's what they're saying. So yeah, so then Kiara goes and she fights to fight the Garuda, and she jumps in front of the Garuda as he was trying to like kill Bo, and then she died. And also she was a fairy queen. Beautiful. And then she died.
So she wasn't a wolf?
No.
Oh, so the wolves were protecting the fairy king.
Yeah.
Oh, and she sacrificed herself for Bo.
Yeah. And I said, wow.
Interesting.
Yep. And then she died. And
she said, Dyson ain't gonna love me. My first husband died.
Yep.
I might as well just die myself.
No, I hope that wasn't.
No, I'm just kidding. That's awful. It was a brave moment. She sacrificed.
She even said some brave shit in the end.
Oh, did she? A great speech as she peaced out?
Yeah, a great one. Take care of yourself.
She said self-care, y'all.
Exactly.
Do your shadow work.
And then she said... Dead. End scene. So, that's what happened.
That's okay. So I'm gonna jump in. Just to give a little recap, because I did kind of slightly go into season 2. I realized on the last episode.
Okay.
But anyways, the people from the alternative timeline, Henry and Jack, they took over the bodies of the people in the regular timeline.
Yeah.
And Henry Men in Black Jack's our memory. But he didn't do his own. And he's been trying to figure out, like, who killed Kim, but he also still blames Jack. And I'm like, how are you going to be his friend if you still blame him and you didn't let yourself forget that? So I don't know.
I thought that was shady.
That's right. That's all I was like, what is this foreshadowing? Yes.
And I was like, Henry, you ain't petty like that.
Right. But it's so interesting because throughout the season, so Jack forgot all of it, which if you think about it, like, it would be so sad to, like, to know a future where you were going to be with Allison and then not get that and see it disappearing. Oh. So I do think Henry did him a favor because as of right now, I'm sure they might get together still. I don't know. But as of right now, her and Nathan are getting back together, and rekindling the flame.
Nathan.
No,
he's awful.
He is an ambitious snake, bro.
Snake in the
because, like, and I do think he does care for Kevin, Allison's son, who they're trying to get the artifact out of, and also cure his autism. Too many times they're like, I just want him to be normal. Are we going to lose him being normal?
Yeah, that's annoying.
At the end, Allison was more like, I just want him however it is, but it wasn't enough to make up for me. I was like, we get it.
Yeah.
Which I didn't go back, but I do also think when they did the flash forward, he did have, like, a lot more social skills and stuff like that, which I'm totally down for. Show it in a way that, like, you guys accommodated for him. You're using all that genius power to work for something, not some, like, pill fix. So, yeah, it is really crazy because Allison and Nathan are getting back together, kind of. But at the end, he did ask her to marry him again, and she did kind of leave him hanging. So we'll see what season 3, episode 1's saying.
Left him hanging.
And Jack is getting cozy with the laundry lady.
Okay.
Which I'm like, yeah, give him another love avenue. And I think it's really nice that they show that him and Allison can still be friends and respect that, like, okay, well, we do have these feelings for each other, but, like, that's not where we're at right now.
Yeah. And how professional they were. I was really taken back by that.
But one thing, I don't remember which episode. I'm going to be jumping around throughout the season, I realize, because I can't keep it straight chronologically right now. But they had an episode where they were going over, like, sexual harassment in the workplace.
Yeah.
And they, like, made it seem like they were, like, essentially that people of Eureka were too smart for that to be a problem for them. And I'm like, off the top of my head, I can think about the guy who cloned his wife because she didn't want to move with him. And then a year after that, not even in the first year that clone was alive, he got her pregnant.
Yeah.
And then the clone died, and he was just, like, trying to get back with the original. And just at a drop of a hat, I was like, no loyalty, sir. Henry's love interest who died, Kim, her piece of shit husband who stole her work and manipulated her and coerced her through constant memory erasing.
Yeah.
And then the guy who put Fargo's grandpa in the cryo chamber
so messed
just
up.
So he could try and be with the grandma. And, like, it's just like, bro, that's just off the top of the head.
Yeah.
You guys... Yeah. Sexual harassment is not far to your realm. And also, there are many, 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 many smart people who sexually harass people. Clarence Thomas, looking at you.
One of many.
One of many. And then another thing, I feel like I'm going to have to, like, for the next episode, look through a list of because they always be talking about the Nobel Peace Prize winners and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But some of them people are pieces of shit, too.
Yeah.
There, I said it.
Having a title does not absolve you of character flaws.
No, not at all.
It doesn't.
And going back to our last episode of, like, cancel culture, if this isn't saying people should be canceled for this, but we should be able to acknowledge all of them and encompass, like, yeah, they were a smart person, but maybe they were also very malicious in these other senses. Like,
yeah.
And just be straight up about it. But yeah, bring me back around to my show. One thing I think that's kind of funny, and I also don't like when shows do this, but, like, Fargo's kind of turning into a bimbo.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting because, like, from the first season, he's, like, doing his own research stuff. At one point, he's even leading a team, and then he's telling them he's going to get his own office, and he did get his own office.
Yeah.
But, and then by the second season, when they do the switch over...
Yeah, he's always messing up.
Yeah, he's always messing up. They're always making fun of him. Essentially, he's just an assistant that, like, sits in the front of her office. Yep. And it's like, he also has a doctorate, not saying that, like, you know, ooh, but, like... In that building, like, he still has a doctorate, and then he's only an assistant level when he was doing research before. Yeah. And so I think it's really interesting that then they bring in his grandpa, and the grandpa is, like, super smart and competent. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, man. I really don't like when shows do that. Like, That's So Raven, when they just kept making Chelsea dumber and dumber, like, as the seasons went on. Uh-huh. And it's just like, I get that kind of, like, it was kind of funny, but, like, you're taking it too far. Yeah. And they don't need to get dumber. Yeah. They don't need to always be the butt of the joke. Yeah. And just piled on. Yeah. But
it seems like we always... Not always, but we typically have that character.
That kind of character. I'm thinking, like, yeah, I'm trying to think of another show, but there's so many shows like that. It's just like, why do we need that?
Yeah. I mean, even with Martin, we had Tommy. Mm-hmm. You know, he had to be the butt of every joke. Yep. You know.
Oh, the two dumber ones on Living Single.
Sinclair.
Yep.
And Obi.
Yep.
Yes. and she had to be from Minnesota. Not too much on Minnesota. Not too much on Minnesota.
You know, I do love it, though. That rendition. And then from Golden Girls, Betty White. Oh. Their, like, cracks on Minnesotans, I think, are just so funny. And like,
it's always about cows forming... Some left Norwegian, Swedish,
something. But the jokes, I think, to me, are just so funny. I'm just like, yes, represent that Minnesota weirdness. Because I'm from the Midwest, you know. Gotta support.
Listen, Winnie Mom once said that she is from the deep north. And that
shit was so funny. I don't even remember the context of the story, but I just remember thinking that shit was so... one of her best, for sure.
One of her best liners, for sure. I bring it up at least once a month.
Not once a month, still.
Yeah, don't let me be on the phone and I'll be like, yeah, I got things to do, you know, because I live in the deep north.
In the deep north. We were just talking about this. There's something about living in the Midwest, or a place with a bunch of seasons. And just, like, how much more stuff we gotta own just to live here.
Oh, my gosh.
Like, you need clothes for each season. You need shoes for each season. Gosh. You need outerwear for almost each season. You need
outerwear, or you will regret it. I'm telling you right now. I recently came on a come up with a couple coats via Winnie's grandma.
She did get some nice ones. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Them things are nice.
She got some nice ones.
And one of them was like 100% wool. Yeah. And I was like, oh. So I'm just out here living my life. You gotta have multiple coats. And I've realized, like, there are days where it gets too cold. You should have just a pair of long johns, bro. A thin something. Stockings, something. Tall socks, bro.
Tall socks. You need the jacket below the butt.
You do. Because if that wind meets your crack,
it's something else. It's something else.
It's something.
Okay, think about that. So there's this episode in Eureka where the weatherman, the meteorologist, like, creates a machine so he can, like, make the weather like more predictable. Yeah. And then it goes haywire and, like, the whole town is just getting messed up. Yeah. And I'm just like, bro, was it worth it? It's a small. Oh, I looked up. The show's actually set in Southern Oregon. Oregon. I'm like, why there? Random as hell. Yeah. And then that makes me think of, in the second episode of the second season, they do a switch over of power because Allison takes over for Nathan. Okay. And they fly in all of these, like, top army people. And literally it's just to, like, hand, eye, switch over. And then there's, like, 6 to 10 hours that the computers have to like reset so that she's the person in charge. And I'm like, think about how much money that cost to get them all there. You know that they probably flew private or first class.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just like, what a waste of money, which is crazy because our senators be doing that to us too, bro. Think about all the military people. I can't remember. It was like, I don't know. It's been some years now, but it came out like how much money they be spending on their trips. And they're like decadent foods, like, and it's just insane.
I just feel like if some of your constituents gotta eat McDonald's or Rallies or whatever, you should also be eating that.
And like they were on fire during the like welfare queen era. And just being like, oh my God, these welfare queens are out here buying lobster and steak. When they were literally on their fucking private jets, eating lobster and steak, having parties, inviting people, flying places they didn't need to be at. Wow. And it's just like, and you know, like the military actually like, has like a bunch of money that they'll just be like, oh, we don't know where that went. And they just accept it and keep it moving.
No. The thing is... Let's hope. Let me just hope that what you just said ain't true. One.
No, I swear to God.
Then two, it is hard for me not to believe that in the state that we're in right now. I'm like, of course they're doing that. Yeah. If they can do X, Y, and Z, of course. Mm-hmm. You know, that's wild.
It ain't right.
That's wild.
Also, another thing about all them flights, so as we've gone on in our aviation history of flying like commercially, we've actually had to go start flying higher and higher.
Oh yeah,
because of the climate change is making the wind flows more turbulent, and now it's gotten to the point where they're like either gonna have to go up again, which I don't know if it's even safe. How much like more we can go up, because it's getting dangerous. And there's just recently a flight. That had messed a bunch of people up. There's a bunch of injuries. And someone might have died. I can't remember. But yeah, the turbulence was so bad. Sorry for anybody who's got to be flying.
Oh my gosh, she says that I have to fly on Friday.
My sister flew today, bro.
And I was telling her when I was leaving New Orleans recently, the turbulence was so bad.
Yes, it was.
And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to die. This is the end. Nah.
That was a storm though, too. We were, you know.
Oh, that was scary.
That was wild.
That was scary. You know, another thing that I find scary.
What?
Kenzie, I love her. She has these piercing eyes. She's actually pretty gorgeous. Mm-hmm. But she be doing a lot of things like with the fae as a human.
As a human.
And I'd be like, girl, you are not caring about your life. Like, so... In the last episode, I talked to y'all about the Nord. And the Nord is this ancient fae who will grant you a wish. And the Nord is the person who took Dyson's love. So, she was, and when I say she, Kenzie was definitely just really focused on helping Dyson. She loves Dyson. Dyson is a good character, has some trauma happen to him. His personality changed briefly, but he came back to the bones of who he was. So, what I'm saying is, as, you know, Kenzie's just hanging out with them and stuff, Kenzie goes to the Nord and says, you know, with Dyson, he needs his love back. She was like, you bought this nasty human in here, blah, blah, blah. Kenzie said she messing with the wrong one. Kenzie goes to an auto, like a hardware store. She rents a power drill, chainsaw. And she goes back to the Nord and was like, yeah, you said we're a human. Humans burn everything down. So she started cutting the tree, and the Nord's getting slashes because she's tied to the tree. Yeah. So she's getting toe up, and Kenzie is not caring at all. And then Kenzie ends up convincing the Nord to give her Dyson's love. And then Dyson got his love back before they went into battle with the Garuda.
Okay, but at this point, is Bo with Lauren yet?
She's with none of them. She was with the dude named Kevin in this series, in this season. Kevin was the first what? Dark fae that she had sexual relations with.
Oh, Kevin.
Yeah. But Kevin did some snaky stuff with Kenzie's boyfriend, and then Kenzie told her like, "Hey, Bo, he's dark fae. He ain't good people."
Who's Kenzie's boyfriend at this point?
Kenzie's boyfriend, I forgot his name.
Damn, okay.
But she's with him, and she's like, you know, he tried to get the Morgan to work with my boyfriend. If you don't recall when I said who the Morgan is the head of Dark Fae. And she is a person that sucks. Because all Fae feed off humans for something. Yeah. So the Morgan, she feeds off of your desires and ambitions and bleeds you dry. Takes all your creativity until you go mad, quoting the show, and then like commit unaliving yourself.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's what she does. So she was confused why Bo's boyfriend, who knows that about the Morgan, even though he's Dark Fae, would want to introduce the Morgan to her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Because when they were at dinner, you know, they all were meeting each other because Bo told him that, you know, it's important that you meet Kenzie and her boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. At the dinner, he's just like Kevin's drilling Kenzie's boyfriend about like, you know, how are you doing this with just a little bar? How are you making money? Like, this doesn't make sense, you know. He white manned him. One white man to another white man.
Yeah.
And then while he did that, he was like, oh, well, I just called the Morgan. So then when Bo walked away, he said, my friend is coming and she's going to talk to you and she's a music producer. Because that's what the Morgan poses at in the human world as a music producer. But she is just, she gets rich off of stealing all of your ambition. Mm-hmm. And then before she does it, she makes you sign all the rights to your song.
Over. So
that, because she has power to blow you up, to make you a sensation. So then she takes all that from you and then you die.
Okay, but if I get, you know, the magic is there.
Yeah.
But like, could you imagine knowing how many of her artists died and she got their rights to their music and she just approaches you, bro? I'd be like, ooh, I think I'm good.
Yeah, but she has an assistant who can just touch you and make you think, oh, I'm supposed to talk to you. You're a wonderful person. Oh. Okay, I'll write your stuff off. It's a
dynamic duo.
It is a dynamic duo. It's akin to what Bo does, but no sexual meeting. Yeah.
Dang.
So many Fae do so many things.
Different things.
Even in this season, I saw Hale use his siren song to cauterize Kenzie wound when she got injured in the war against the Garuda.
What?
He sung her back to health.
I remember that part.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know we're talking about me a lot right now. Sorry.
No, I love it.
We need to talk about Kenzie and Hale. We just got my boy Vex. Vex is a terrible character on the show. He is awful, but he's awful. He's a white man. He's British, and he's funny. Yes, he's awful, but he's funny. The Garuda enlisted in an Underfae, and Underfae are like spirits or outcasts of the world, of the Fae world and the world. They would be seen as that. They could be spirits. They can be leaves. They can be anything, right? So they are called Underfae. So the Garuda enlist an Underfae spirit to kidnap Trick. They kidnap him. You know, Kenzie again is minding her business, and she's going in Trick lair, and she's trying to make sense of like this ancient, like Celtic kind of language. And she was in there for hours, and then everybody's sitting at the bar just trying to figure out their strategies to fight in the war against the Garuda. And she comes out and she's like, oh my god, my shoulders, please tell me that you have like something that can help me with my shoulder pain to Hale. And Hale goes, oh, what about old-fashioned hands? So then he's giving her a massage in front of everybody. And she's like, oh my God, this massage is so good. So then the Vex go, are you fucking kidding me? Am I the only one seeing this? So that shit took me out. Like,
of course it did.
Vex is just so funny. He's like, oh my God, I cannot be the only one seeing this. So then when Kenzie got hurt, like in the fight, because this happened before. So when she got hurt in the fight against the Garuda, he was just like, I can't be the only one seeing this. Like, so it's just he just keep bringing, because as you're watching it, you can tell that Hale is in love with Kenzie, but Kenzie is
blind,
and she's really into that white man with pretty eyes.
Yeah.
So, and he's also, if you are watching, ever watch Warehouse 13, he is Jinx, the character Jinx.
Oh, not a crossover.
Yeah, so it's just, all this stuff happening. And yeah, I just thought it was dope.
Hearing about those love stories, that makes me think about two of the other love stories that pop up in the this season.
Yeah.
Zoe, and her new main man Luke.
Oh, Luke.
But so I thought I liked the way that they set them up. Because originally she was interested in Jasper.
Okay.
And he was like this cute guy, but he was too scared to ask her out just because her dad was the sheriff.
Rude.
Yellow flag 1.
Yeah.
And then the red flag is thought she was prettier and hot, but then when it came to picking a partner in class, he was just like, anyone else? And so then in comes our guy Luke, and what I love about him is he's just straightforward. He's like, look, he thinks you're hot, but obviously not smart enough to be his partner. And he's like, but I don't care. I think you're smart, and I'd love to work with you. And then she, of course, judges him a little at first and kind of puts him in a box, and he's like, you're the one who overlooked me.
Ooh.
And then he calls on, he's like, it's just kind of crazy now that we got this sexual tension going. And so, yeah, I think he's real funny.
Yeah.
But, and then, as they get to know each other, it's real sweet because they do end up, liking each other after working on this project together.
Yeah.
And then they get caught kissing by Joe.
Oh.
And then,
Josephine.
I don't remember what's happening in the town this time. Like always, something's going on.
Always.
But they have to get stuck at the police station, and so she locked him in the cell while they slept outside the cell, so nothing would happen while they were asleep.
Wow.
I was like, damn, chill. And then the other love is Josephine and Zane.
Oh, I've been waiting for you to get to Josephine and Zane because that is one of my favorite love stories.
I am vibing on it, I ain't gonna lie.
Oh.
So Zane's a new character.
Yes.
He, again, I'm like, how old are you though? He does kind of look younger, and they talk about him being in college, but he started college at 15.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, Josephine again has to be at minimum 31.
Yeah.
And so, well, I don't know. But anyways, he gets a felony for trying to hack into some shit, and they're like, "Why don't you come work for us over here?" Which I'm not gonna lie to you. Literally, when I was younger, that was like my dream. Was I good at hacking anything? No, not really.
Yeah.
But I was like, wow, that just seems so cool to be so good at hacking.
No, I used
that the
to
government was like,
hacker.
all right, you guys, you can come work for me.
Right, like Penelope.
Like Penelope.
In Criminal Minds.
Yes.
It's just like, I used to listen. There was a thing called MySpace.
Oh my gosh.
And Black Planet. And you could not tell me that I wasn't a regular coder.
We were all out there coding. Bro,
we were coders.
Putting music on the page, picking the design of the page, sparkles coming down, different colors. You couldn't tell us.
Wow.
We had skills, bro.
I did. I had Anne Marie. It's this one thing that got me driven.
It's this one thing. I had a real trifling song that my mom made me change.
Oh. Do tell.
I can't remember what it was. If I remember.
Shake that. Let me see you get low. Shake that till you can't no more.
No, it was even worse than that. It was like, oh damn, it was a bad one. I just don't remember.
It was the Whisper song, wasn't it?
No, it was bad. Worse than that. I know it was a bad song. I'll have to think and try and remember. Wow. But you know, like that was also the craziest time because like the top 8, you had to be there to really understand a top 8.
Yes.
And for those of you who weren't, MySpace had, you could promote 8 people.
Yeah.
Or less. Some people, they was less.
Yeah.
I
had 8
kept it exclusive.
Yeah.
But those are like your top friends. And like, so to be in someone's top 8 or to get bumped from someone's top 8.
Oh.
Big deal.
Yeah. That was rough. Because I would bump my cousin all the time.
Dre?
No, it's another cousin. Don't say their name.
Okay.
I was bumping them. I was like,
bump.
John, I know what you did last week and who you did it with. Boom. Just getting rid of them. And they were just so annoying to me. And I was just like, bump.
I'll always be so sad with myself because I deleted my MySpace before getting my pictures off.
Me too.
And then there was like a brief moment where you could like get back in to like get stuff, and I missed that. I couldn't remember the password.
I was able to log in maybe a year ago.
I did log back in later, but everything was gone.
Yeah, everything was gone.
Yeah. So I just missed it.
That was
an era. I remember I was like holding out. I was like, I don't want to join Facebook, bro.
No.
And then, but everybody was migrating to Facebook, and so
I didn't create a Facebook. My high school friend Tiffany did. She used my email to create my Facebook.
I didn't get my Facebook until I went to college.
Wow, what a time.
My freshman year.
I'm not going to lie.
Or what? It might have been right before freshman year, sorry. That's a lie.
I'm not going to lie. There was a time where it doesn't happen anymore because they're all deleted. But I used to wait until like it would say, you posted this 15 years ago. And it was like me saying, fuck niggas, I ain't got time. And I was like, delete.
Oh my, no, when I go back on mine, I used to do like really weird spelling things, like the instead of an O it'd be a U, like TU instead of TO.
Yeah.
I did a double I system. It was just like, for a girl with dyslexia, I don't know why I would do that to myself. Oh. But yeah. Good time all around. I missed the random just like album dumps.
Me too.
Of like a night out, a vacation. I miss those.
I kept dumping them.
Those, I love an album, and then you title them, and sometimes I'm like, damn, those were some good ass times.
This was a time. Yeah.
Those were a time to be alive.
I got
for
so
sure.
many albums that I privated, but I have.
I love. Many. Yeah, also the transition. I should probably go through some of mine and see what I should private.
Yeah.
I've also lost some pictures on Facebook where I'll be getting mad and I'm delete, and then I'm like, damn, I should have.
Why did I do that?
Taken them. I should have downloaded them and then deleted them.
There's so many pictures that I'm like, I remember one time, I went to a party. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna say names because people who is listening to this may know. I went to a party. I think I was a junior. Mm-hmm. And at this party, everybody was having a good time. Most of my friend groups were there in attendance. I had a camera. Mind you, at this time I was not drinking alcohol. So I was just vibing with everybody else.
A different breed.
Breed. Not saying I was like out here just, in the streets, but a different breed for sure. And at some point, everyone just took off their shirts. It's like everyone had either on a bra or a tank top or just skin, and then it wasn't like anything weird. It was just like everyone took off their shirt, just started dancing, having a great time. So everyone was just dancing. One of those
times.
Yeah, so I don't even know what happened, but just it was like one person and another person. It was just like that's how we were. And guess who was taking the greatest pictures?
Oh my God.
Me. So one day, because there's times I just don't catch the room, and I was going through the pictures with a group of them, and they were like, "Oh my God, no, delete." So I can't. But now I'm like thinking about another party. But it was either me or a close friend of mine took all these pictures, and now everyone has been spooked about who has the pictures. I know who has the pictures, but it was just a time.
I'm always so sad because you and some of our other friends and more, you guys had your year of going out. The semester, or not your year, but the semester that you guys went out the hardest was the semester I was abroad. And you guys always be like, do you remember this? And I'd be like, no, you motherfuckers. I wasn't there, bitch. I wasn't on this landmass. I was on another fucking continent.
I don't even know what happened. A time was to be had.
You guys had a time, bro.
And I don't...
And I just remember coming back and you guys would be talking about all these houses, all these different parties, and I was just like...
It was a time.
What?
There was a time I was at the soccer house like twice a week. You get me? Until an incident happened, and then I had to chill. I had to chill. Couldn't go there anymore. But yeah, it was a time. The volleyball house, the football house was a time. The African. It was a time. It was a time. I remember there was a time where people were like really afraid of getting minors. But I never drunk at that age.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never drunk at that time, so I was never afraid about getting a minor until like people are like, "Oh my God, the cops is outside! The cops is outside!" And one of my friends jumped out of the window, and it was negative 30 degrees, and they got frostbite on a couple toes.
No.
They had to be taken to the emergency room.
So my freshman year, like before school started, like the days leading up to school actually starting,
right,
a party got busted, and a bunch of freshmen got minors.
Yeah.
And I remember like going out for the first time, and so I'm from the country, y'all. Like we have parties in fields.
Yeah.
You know, like in a garage, but like there's still open areas we're running.
Yeah.
We're hiding from the police.
Yeah.
I've army crawled across a teacher's yard to get away from police, bro. I'm just saying. Somebody one time hid under a dock in the water. I'm not playing with y'all. But don't drink, y'all. If you're underage. This is not me condoning underage drinking.
God damn, underneath the dock. That's how you know it's real.
Bro, we had to get away. Oh, wow. One time we had a false alarm at Felicia's house, and bro, we were skidding down hills. We gotta get to the water.
I just can't.
Follow the northern star, bro. It was rough.
They're rugged over here. I can believe it. You guys, rugged is one of my favorite. Listen, the natives here, shout out to White Earth, okay?
Shout out
to White Earth. And it's just the rugged. Once I've heard rugged, I said, oh, I need that word. I need that word. It's like everybody is just rugged. And it just fits so well.
It does.
It's like the perfect word.
To get across what you're thinking?
Get across what you're thinking.
Anyways, back to when I went to a house party for the first time. I'm just looking around like, how y'all getting out of here? I'm like, there's one, maybe two exits.
Yeah.
If the police show up.
Not just strategizing.
I'm like, why? Why are we doing this? Yeah. But yeah. Morris was a great time.
Yeah.
And then beep, back to Joe and Zane. So yeah, Zane comes to town. He's a felon. He has my dream job. Hacker turned military contractor, I guess.
That's what she's trying to do. Look out for her.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Speak your truth. Let the people know what you about.
No.
Let them know that you try to sign up to be a Marine at one point.
Oh, okay, ROTG, say whatever you guys say.
G say.
JROTC.
J say.
Okay, I was definitely going for the FBI vibe, which, if we all remember, you really were actually trying to be in the FBI.
I really was.
Between the two of us.
I had to pull that back.
Oh, I'm glad you did.
That was a pipe dream.
Yeah.
Not a pipe dream, actually. I think I would.
You could have.
Well. Yeah, definitely.
You could have. They might have got you in the your knees.
Yeah, they would have got me from. But I think I could have done. It's just like I don't think I think I had the mental and physical capacity to do it at the time.
Yeah.
But just there's just things that I just don't want to live without, and you have to live without them.
Yeah.
If you're trying to be an FBI agent.
We don't want it.
I don't want it. And I just can't. Just reading a lot about FDR and Hoover. Yeah. No.
So anyways, Zane and Joe getting together.
Right.
I think it is real cute. I like that she finally got a love interest. But there was one time where they're on a date and he's like shooting her down because she's talking about like more applied and practical things on like a very high intelligence level. But like, you know, compared to people in this town, it's not quite that. Yeah. And he's like kind of condescending. And I'm mad because they like flipped it by the end of the episode. And Joe was just like, I'm sorry. I'm just so... my self-esteem's so low and it's just so hard because I'm not smart. And I'm just like, but no, he was being condescending and fucking rude, bro. Yeah. Like, he ain't had to treat you like that.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they did get past it, though.
Yeah.
In that same episode, I think it's super funny because they brought up the, like, that there's a church there and that like not that many people go.
Oh my god.
But then
here we go.
After they think these miracles are happening, but really it's this one lady's sound vibrations fucking up the town. People start going. And then even afterwards everybody figures out that it was like another experiment gone awry, but more people did start showing up. Yeah. And I said, get your faith where you can.
You know, I always think it's funny when I think about the different experiments that happened in Eureka.
Oh my gosh.
How easy your experience could mess up somebody else's
life.
And or somebody else's research.
Oh, experiment, yeah.
Yeah, so I used to be like, y'all don't have better parameters in this? Because when they're talking about being in GD, you know, Dynamic Global, right? DG? Or
Global GD? Dynamic, GD,
Global
right,
Dynamics,
the first time.
There we go. When they talk about being in GD and they'll be like, oh, we're going to go to the artifact on level 5. And then on level 4, they're doing explosives. And it's just like,
why?
Who came up with this plan?
Also, some of the off-site ones, too, I'm just like, why are they in the same vicinity as this other thing that is a direct conflict?
Why are we having the person who make clouds and the person who do helium stuff? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that's...
There was that one episode where there was like that guy who was making those night plants or whatever, and the other guy who had his other shit going on, and it just like and then in this season, again with her sound waves. And it like went into that guy who had those other plants, and then he moved into the aquamarine stuff. Yeah. And it like turned his water into blood.
Yeah.
And then it also like shot a hole through the house.
Yeah.
And it really be making me think like, how many days out of the week like does school get canceled, our business got to shut down because of people shit just like popping off the wrong way. You know, it's just like, damn, bro, we can't go in again.
No.
Even that one episode when everybody turned dumb because of the chicken.
Yeah.
And it's like they really got one restaurant in that town. If that one restaurant got contaminated food, there goes half the town.
Listen, Vincent is doing the best he can.
The best he can with what he got. And
that's rough.
Yeah, I just...
Oh.
If it gets me, I'm just like, you guys, it would be fun, but Not fun. Yeah. Another thing. Okay, remember how I was saying, like, they're kind of uppity and they be, like, having all this stuff that they don't let go out into the real world?
Right.
So, like, there's this episode where that person's invisible and he's, like, stealing stuff.
Yeah.
But when they're at the pharmacy, they see that they have the cure to the common cold. And he goes, it's just too expensive to mass produce right now. And then Jack goes, oh, and I bet you have... what is it, like instant filling stuff for cavities and permanent like sunscreen? And I was like, what do you mean? That's like right up at the front. And it's just like, y'all are so rude. How are you gonna have all this nice stuff and keep it to yourself?
Yeah. Oh, so what I really loved and could not wait to see on this rewatch of Lost Girl was when Bo found out that Trick was her grandfather. And it was just such a beautiful reveal. And in a dark time, don't get me wrong, but like just Bo being excited that she has a grandfather and just like how much he loves her. And then you find out also in this season that Trick's wife, who died in the war against the light and the dark fae, her name was Isabeau, and then Bo's name being Bo. I just thought that was really beautiful.
I forgot that.
I know.
Okay, so just to wrap up the season.
Yeah.
Nathan and also Allison really disappointed me because she was letting Nathan do some wild ass shit.
Wild things.
In order to save Kevin.
Yeah.
They even did the thing with the dream where they were like letting people's dreams be cast, which was worse.
That was terrible.
That shit was worse than when old girl was spilling everybody's therapy secrets.
No, that was worse, especially when Fargo was trying to prove his love to Joe and like this Mexican thing that they were
Zorro.
Doing. Zorro, and I was just
that was one of my biggest, one of my favorite shows when I was a kid. That was like one of my first crushes.
Man, the old
one on Disney late at night.
Oh, I love.
But
Zorro.
that ended up being Joe's dream.
Yeah.
And I was like, Joe and Fargo.
I remember that.
No, yeah. But so that one. Anyways, Nathan and Allison really going rogue, bro. And then, again, Nathan was just willing to do too much because he called in the DOD after telling Allison, like, no, we can't call the DOD and they're going to mess everything up, blah, blah, blah. And then they call him in so that he can get Beverly there without telling people. Yeah. They don't bring Henry in. Freaking Allison takes him off of Kim's case.
Right.
After he's the one who figured out Beverly was the one who tampered with the experiment, and that's why Kim died.
Exactly.
And I'm like, y'all ain't right. And then some shit happens. The building has to go on lockdown.
Right.
And they get trapped with Beverly. And then it seems like Henry is completely flipped, and he has joined the side that are trying to, do something strange with the artifact. Thank God that's not the case. He's really just trying to help Kevin. And they do end up helping Kevin. And then Beverly transports herself somewhere. But we don't know if her body made it because the farther you send it, the less likely your molecules are going to come back together the right way.
I do remember that. This old machine.
Yeah, it was. So I think that is cool that they're like, there's certain experiments that are like no longer allowed, like invisibility, transportation, and something else, but they had this before that, and it was just a prototype, and no humans had done it. But so they were able to save Kevin, and then he was able to keep some of his new gained social skills that he had from the artifact. Yeah. And so it'll be interesting to see where that goes. And like I was saying earlier, like Nathan did ask Allison to marry him again, and I'm like, well, where will that go? And we got Jack going this way. So, like, it is kind of crazy to see that this is going to be completely different than the alternative timeline. Yeah. And it's just like, where are we going?
But I think the writers did a good job.
I do. I like that they're doing this because I'm like, ooh. And I also really love Zoe and Joe's, like, big sister, little sister relationship.
Oh, me too. I love it throughout the whole series.
Yeah, I think that's, like, just a nice little relationship they got there.
And she needed that. Mm-hmm. They both needed that.
And also, I'm like, we got to stop teasing tomboy girls if they want to look at fashion stuff.
Exactly.
They were ribbing on her for having the magazines, Joe. Yeah. And I'm like, she can do all of it if she wants.
She can do all of it.
But yeah, I did like this season. Definitely have to give it to you. It has some more of the supernatural element. I'm again excited to see where it's going. Is there a part where I should start watching Warehouse 13 before this is over, or should I just watch all of this and then Warehouse 13?
Or you want them to happen side by side?
Is there a point where like they come in together and I should be watching it to like?
No, I don't think you really need to know all the ins and outs about Warehouse 13 when it gets introduced.
Okay. Well, in that case, you got anything else?
No, I don't. I just had a great time.
I had a great time. These are one of my favorite episodes because they're so easy.
Yeah, they're so easy.
But, so for those of you who don't know, we like to fact check ourselves and add pictures to everything on our YouTube. So watch us there if you want to see that. We also put corrections on the screen and such.
Yeah.
We will have a website going up eventually to have like our show notes and all that.
Yes.
So yeah, please like and subscribe. Rate us wherever you listen to your podcast. Comment on YouTube. We will be interacting. We love to see your comments. Just know we'll be texting and calling each other like, did you see that? Did you see that?
Yeah.
So thank you again for watching, listening, supporting us. It's crazy that we're doing this.
Yeah.
Happy Gay Pride Month.
Yes.
Shout out to Wobbs. Happy birthday. You can definitely come be on the show.
You definitely can, Wobbs. You definitely can.
But yeah. Been great. Good night.